Do you know why placing 3 coins beneath your pillow has been a sacred, closely guarded secret among Jewish women for over 2,000 years? This isn't just tradition. This isn't just folklore. It's a precise spiritual practice that awakens the energy of wealth while you rest. And tonight, I'm going to share with you exactly how to do it, the right way. I'm Rebbetzin Rachel, and for over 40 years, I've studied the hidden wisdom of the Kabbalah and the teachings of our matriarchs. My grandmother was a wise woman in Jerusalem, and her mother before her practiced these rituals in the old country. This knowledge has been passed down through the women of my family for 7 generations. What I'm about to share with you isn't something you'll find in books. This is a nighttime ritual that has been kept within certain Jewish families because of its transformative power. And here's what's truly remarkable. Even now, as the world faces economic uncertainty and financial fear spreads, the women who practice this ancient method continue to thrive. They aren't anxious. They know something most people don't. The technique I'll reveal to you tonight is so powerful that many women who use it correctly report unexpected money appearing within 24 to 48 hours, not weeks, not months, but days. But you must stay with me until the very end, because if you miss even one detail, the entire ritual loses its effectiveness, and I'll explain why each element matters, according to the ancient Kabbalistic principles that our matriarchs understood so deeply. Let me take you back to the night I first learned this secret. I was 19, studying in Jerusalem. My grandmother called me into her small, candle-lit study after Shabbat had ended. The air was thick with the scent of beeswax and old parchment. She took my hands in hers, looked into my eyes, and said, "Rachel, tonight I'm going to teach you something that will change your relationship with abundance forever." At first, I didn't understand. I was young, focused on my spiritual studies, not on money. But my grandmother explained that the divine never intended for her daughters to live in lack. Poverty, she told me, is not a virtue. It's a barrier that keeps us from fulfilling our sacred purpose. She showed me passages in the Zohar, the heart of Kabbalah, that describe how certain objects can become vessels for spiritual energy. She taught me that metals, especially coins, carry the ability to bridge the physical world with the spiritual realms of abundance. That night she shared with me the ritual of the 3 coins. I followed her instructions exactly as she gave them, and within 3 days, the most incredible things began to happen. A cousin I hadn't spoken to in years sent me a gift of money out of the blue. A debt I'd forgotten about was suddenly repaid. An opportunity to teach and earn appeared as if from nowhere. I was amazed, but my grandmother just smiled and said, "The Shekinah, the divine presence, responds to those who know how to ask with an open heart." Now you might be wondering, why does this work? And this is where the ancient wisdom becomes even more beautiful. The Talmud teaches that sleep is 1/60th of death. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to remind you that during sleep, your soul ascends to higher spiritual realms. In those moments, you are more connected to divine energy than at any other time. Kabbalah explains that this nightly journey of the soul creates a sacred opportunity. When you place the right objects near your head as you sleep, they become infused with the spiritual energy your soul encounters. Coins, which symbolize material abundance in our world, become charged with the energy of prosperity from the spiritual realm. But here's what most people don't realize. It's not enough to simply place any coins under any pillow at any time. The number of coins, their type, their placement, the words you speak, and the intention you hold, all of these must align perfectly for the ritual to work. The ancient rabbis and wise women discovered through generations of practice that 3 coins create a specific energetic pattern. 3 represents the matriarchs, Sarah, Rebecca, and Rachel. It represents the 3 pillars of the tree of life in Kabbalah. It represents wholeness in a way that 1 or 2 coins simply cannot. When you place 3 coins in the correct position, you're creating a spiritual channel that sends your intention for abundance into the higher realms while drawing prosperity back into your life. This isn't magic. This is spiritual science, refined over thousands of years by women who understood the flow of divine energy. I know exactly what you're feeling right now. You wake up every morning with financial worries pressing on your heart. You work hard, maybe harder than anyone around you, yet no matter what you do, money seems to slip away like sand through your fingers. Bills pile up faster than income. Unexpected expenses appear just when you thought you were finally getting ahead. And that sense of financial security always feels just out of reach. I know this because for over 40 years I've sat with thousands of women just like you. I've heard your stories, the frustration, the fear, the exhaustion. You've tried budgeting, but it doesn't address the root of the problem. You've tried working longer hours, but there are only so many hours in a day. You've tried positive affirmations, but words alone don't pay the bills, and everyone around you has advice that sounds good but brings no real change. Here's the truth no one tells you. Conventional approaches to wealth focus only on the physical: earn more, spend less, invest wisely. These aren't wrong, but they're incomplete. They ignore the spiritual laws that govern how abundance flows into your life. The Talmud teaches that sustenance comes from heaven. This means the ultimate source of your prosperity is spiritual, not just material. If you have spiritual blockages, limiting beliefs, negative energy, or ancestral patterns around money, no amount of physical effort will overcome them. Most financial advice is like pouring water into a leaky bucket. You keep adding more, but it keeps draining out because you haven't sealed the energetic holes in your life. You've been told that wealth comes from hard work and smart choices. That's part of the truth, but it's been presented as the whole truth. I've studied the ancient texts for decades. I've seen what works and what doesn't. And I can tell you with absolute certainty, the women in Jewish families who have built and sustained wealth for generations understand something different. They know that the spiritual must come first. When you align spiritually, your physical efforts become powerful. Our people have understood this for millennia. That's why, again and again, Jewish women have rebuilt prosperity after every hardship, every exile, every attempt to break us. It's not about intelligence, luck, or even hard work. It's about knowing how to align with the divine laws that most people never learn. Here's the deeper truth. Kabbalah teaches that everything in the physical world has a spiritual root. Money isn't just paper and metal. It's crystallized energy with a spiritual dimension. When you learn to work with the spiritual root of wealth, the physical abundance follows naturally. When I truly understood this, everything shifted for me. I realized that all my previous efforts had been treating the symptoms, not the cause. The 3-coin ritual works because it addresses the spiritual root of prosperity while you're in the most receptive state, sleep. Now I'm going to reveal the exact method to you. This comes directly from Kabbalistic tradition, refined through generations of practice by the women in my family. It's been used for centuries, and it works. But before I share the steps, you need to understand something essential. This is not a game. This is not something to do casually or without commitment. When you activate these ancient spiritual laws, real forces begin to move, real energy begins to shift, and you will see real results, but only if you follow every step exactly as I teach it. The precision matters because each element has a specific purpose in the spiritual mechanics of the ritual. You might wonder, why this method? Why these steps? The answer goes back over 2,000 years to the earliest Kabbalistic teachings about the connection between the physical and spiritual worlds. The ancient rabbis and wise women discovered through deep meditation and study that certain objects, numbers, and actions create predictable spiritual effects. They tested this over generations. They refined it. They preserved it in texts that most people never read or never truly understand. What I'm teaching you isn't my invention. I'm simply a link in the chain, passing down what was passed down to me. And here's what's most important. Every element of this ritual has a purpose. Nothing is arbitrary, nothing is superstition. The coins represent materialized energy. They symbolize your intention for abundance made tangible. They carry the divine currency of prosperity. The number 3 creates spiritual completeness and aligns you with the blessings of our matriarchs. The pillow represents your consciousness, the sacred space where your thoughts become dreams and your dreams connect to the divine. The timing represents the optimal moment for spiritual work. The words you'll speak activate divine creative power through speech, the same power the Creator used to bring the world into being. When you combine these elements in the right order, with the right intention, you create a spiritual vortex that draws abundance directly into your life as you sleep. You wake up in a new, energetic reality, one where opportunities, money, and prosperity flow to you effortlessly. This is nothing like anything you've tried before, because it works on the spiritual level, not just the physical. It uses specific objects and words proven for millennia. It requires your active participation. You're not just hoping or wishing, you're doing something that creates real, lasting change. And the results come quickly, often within days. You don't need to be Jewish. You don't need special training. You just need to follow the instructions exactly as I give them. The Talmud teaches that the gates of prayer are never locked. This is the foundation of everything I'm about to share with you. When you understand this principle, you'll see why this method is so powerful. You're not trying to control reality. You're aligning with laws that already exist, laws that respond to right action and pure intention. Before you begin, prepare yourself mentally and spiritually. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being clear. Choose a time when you won't be interrupted. Perform the ritual right before you go to sleep for the night. Your bedroom should be clean and orderly because Kabbalah teaches that physical clutter creates energetic clutter. Make sure you're in a calm, centered state. If you're feeling angry, anxious, or emotionally overwhelmed, take a few moments to breathe deeply and ground yourself. The energy you bring to this matters. Set your intention with clarity. Know exactly what you're asking for. Vague intentions create vague results. If you need a specific amount of money, hold that number in your mind. If you need new opportunities, visualize them clearly. Clarity amplifies power. Trust the process. Even if some steps feel unusual, follow them precisely. Remember, this has worked for thousands of years for countless women. Your doubts don't affect the spiritual laws, but they can affect your ability to follow through if you let them cause you to skip steps or alter the practice. What you'll need: the first element, 3 coins. Not 2, not 4, exactly 3. In Kabbalah, the number 3 represents the 3 pillars of creation: kindness, strength, and beauty. These 3 forces govern everything in the universe, including the flow of abundance. The coins should be of the same denomination. This creates energetic harmony. Using different coins creates conflicting energies that can weaken the ritual. The specific type of coin matters less than the consistency. Whether you use 3 pennies, 3 quarters, or 3 coins of any currency, they must match. Clean coins are best. If your coins are dirty, wash them with water before use. Water, in Kabbalistic teaching, is a purifying element that clears negative energetic residue. Coins pass through many hands and can carry old energies. Cleaning them gives you a fresh start. I've seen the three-coin principle create miracles. I've seen it clear debts that seemed impossible to repay. I've seen it attract opportunities that defied logic. I've seen it reverse decades of financial struggle. This is why the number cannot be changed. The second element, your pillow. In Kabbalah, the head represents the highest part of the spiritual body, the place where divine consciousness meets human awareness. Your pillow, which supports your head as you sleep, becomes the sacred altar for this ritual. Use the pillow you actually sleep on, not a decorative one. The energetic connection between your head and the pillow throughout the night is what charges the coins with your personal intention, combined with the spiritual energy your soul encounters during sleep. Keep the pillow in its usual place on your bed. Don't move it for the ritual. The comfort and familiarity of your normal sleeping position create the best conditions for deep, restorative sleep when the spiritual work is most powerful. The third element, the words you'll speak. Kabbalah teaches that the universe was created through divine speech. Words have creative power because they're made of the same spiritual substance that formed reality. The words I'll give you aren't prayers. They're declarations that align your intention with divine abundance. Speak them aloud if you can. If you can't, say them silently in your mind. The key is that you mean them fully. Empty words bring empty results. Words spoken with true intention move spiritual forces. The fourth element, your intention. This might seem obvious, but in Kabbalah, intention is everything. You must know exactly what you're asking for, not just more money, but the specific change you want to see or the exact amount you need. Your intention should be positive, focused on what you want to attract, not what you want to avoid. The spiritual realm responds to attraction, not resistance. Instead of, I don't want to struggle anymore, your intention should be, I welcome abundance with an open heart. The fifth element, timing. Perform this ritual at night, right before sleep. The Talmud teaches that night is the time for spiritual work, while day is for physical work. By doing this at night, you're working in harmony with the natural spiritual rhythm of creation. Friday nights are especially powerful because the energy of Shabbat amplifies all spiritual work, but the ritual can be done any night. Consistency matters more than waiting for the perfect night. The exact steps. Step 1. Hold the coins. Take your 3 clean matching coins and hold them together in your right hand. In Kabbalah, the right hand represents the side of receiving blessing. Feel their weight. Notice their texture. Feel them warm from your body heat. Close your eyes and bring your financial intention to mind. See it clearly. If it's a number, visualize it. If it's a situation, imagine it resolved. If it's an opportunity, picture it arriving. Hold this vision for at least 1 full minute while holding the coins. Step 2. Speak the words of activation. While still holding the coins, say these words aloud or in your mind. I open my heart as a vessel for divine abundance. As these 3 coins rest beneath my head tonight, I receive prosperity from the source of all blessing. Money flows to me with ease. Opportunities find me effortlessly. I am in alignment with the universal law of abundance. Speak slowly, with deep conviction. These are not words to rush through. Each phrase carries spiritual weight. Step 3. Place the coins under your pillow. Lift your pillow and arrange the 3 coins in a small triangle, 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom. This triangle symbolizes the stability of divine abundance and mirrors the 3-pillar structure of creation. Place them roughly under where your head will rest. They don't need to be perfectly centered, but they should be beneath your head, not near the edge of the pillow. Step 4. Settle into bed. Lie down in your usual sleeping position. As you get comfortable, take 3 deep breaths. With each exhale, release any tension, worry, or doubt. With each inhale, imagine golden light filling your body, the light of divine abundance. After your 3 breaths, close your eyes and repeat silently, I receive prosperity. As I sleep, I awaken to new abundance. Step 5. Surrender to sleep. This is critical. After completing the ritual, don't lie awake wondering if it will work. Don't try to stay conscious to watch what happens. Trust the process and allow yourself to drift into natural sleep. The spiritual work unfolds while you're unconscious. Your soul ascends. The coins become charged. The energy of abundance integrates into your life. Trying to stay awake disrupts this process. Step 6. Morning gratitude. When you wake up before you get out of bed, take a moment to acknowledge the ritual. Say aloud or silently, I thank the source of all blessing for the abundance I have received and am receiving. I am grateful for prosperity in all its forms. Then, retrieve the 3 coins from under your pillow. Hold them in your right hand for a moment and feel deep gratitude. These coins are now imbued with abundance energy. Step 7. Keep the coins sacred. Do not spend these coins. Do not mix them with your regular money. Keep them together in a small pouch or container in a place associated with wealth, your wallet, a jewelry box, a drawer where you keep financial papers. These coins will continue to attract prosperity. Some women pass charged coins down through generations, adding to their power over time. What to expect? Within the first 24 hours, you may feel a subtle shift in your energy. Many women report feeling lighter, more hopeful, more open to receiving. This is a sign that the energetic transformation has begun. Some experience vivid dreams about money, opportunities, or abundance. Others notice synchronicities, overhearing conversations about financial possibilities, receiving unexpected calls, or finding money in forgotten places. Pay attention to these signs. Within 3 to 7 days, tangible results often appear. This might come as unexpected income, a debt being forgiven, a new opportunity, a resolved obstacle, or an increase in business if you're an entrepreneur. The key is to trust and release. Do the ritual, then let it go. Continue your daily life while staying open to receiving. The divine will handle the rest, but you must create space for abundance by not obsessing over it. Within 30 days, if you practice regularly, the transformation will become undeniable. Your relationship with money will begin to shift at its core. Opportunities will multiply. Financial stress will ease. You'll develop an intuitive sense of prosperity that guides your decisions naturally. Critical warnings. First, your intention must be pure. This ritual must never be used to harm others or take what isn't yours. Using spiritual power for negative purposes violates divine law and brings severe consequences. My grandmother told me about a woman in her village who tried to use spiritual practices to take a business from a rival. Within a year, that woman had lost everything: her health, her family, her reputation. The energy she tried to manipulate for harm turned against her completely. Use this ritual only for legitimate prosperity that doesn't come at another's expense. Your abundance should add to the world, not take from someone else. Second, consistency is key. If you start this practice and then abandon it, you create an energetic pattern of incompletion that can block prosperity even more than before. I've seen women do the ritual for a few nights, see small results, grow impatient, and stop, only to wonder why their finances worsened. The ritual builds momentum over time. Breaking that momentum is worse than never starting. Commit to practicing this for at least 30 consecutive nights before evaluating the results. If you can't make that commitment, don't begin. Third, Keep it sacred and private. The power of this practice is amplified by secrecy. Don't tell everyone what you're doing. Don't post about it online. Don't discuss it with skeptical friends or family who might plant doubts in your mind. There's a Kabbalistic principle that spiritual work exposed too soon loses its power. The energy of others' doubts can interfere with your manifestation. Practice quietly. Let the results speak for themselves. A deeper truth. The Talmud teaches that 3 keys remain in the hands of the divine, never given to any messenger: the key of life, the key of resurrection, and the key of rain. But there's a hidden teaching that the key of sustenance, of abundance, is partially placed in our hands. We can influence it through our spiritual alignment. When I first studied this with my grandmother, I didn't fully grasp it. But after years of applying these teachings and witnessing their power, I finally understood. We are not passive recipients, waiting for abundance to fall into our laps. We are active co-creators of our prosperity, aligning ourselves with divine will. The ancient rabbis and wise women knew that specific practices could open channels of blessing that remain closed to those who don't know the secrets. They preserved these practices in rituals like the one I've shared with you tonight, passing them down through generations for those ready to receive. There was a time in my own life when I struggled financially, even though I knew these teachings. I was in my 30s, a mother with young children, and nothing seemed to work. I knew the rituals I had studied for years, but I hadn't applied them consistently because part of me doubted whether they would work for me. Then I received a notice that we owed a large, unexpected tax debt, one that seemed impossible to pay. In that moment of crisis, I decided to practice everything my grandmother had taught me with absolute commitment. I did the 3-coin ritual every single night for 90 days without fail. Within 3 months, the situation resolved in ways that felt like miracles. A manageable payment plan was offered. Unexpected income came from a teaching opportunity. An old investment I'd thought was worthless turned out to be valuable. That's when I truly internalized what I'm sharing with you now. Knowing isn't enough. You have to do the work, consistently. Over the past 40 years, I've taught this method to thousands of women. I've seen single mothers break generational cycles of poverty. I've seen women turn struggling businesses into thriving enterprises. I've seen those burdened by debt become financially free, and in every case, the women who succeeded followed the steps exactly, maintained consistency, and approached the practice with genuine intention, not desperation. The ones who failed either changed the ritual based on their own ideas, gave up too soon, or treated it like a quick fix rather than a sacred alignment with divine law. Why this matters now? We're living in times of extraordinary economic uncertainty. Markets fluctuate wildly. Inflation erodes savings. Job security is disappearing. The old rules of financial success no longer apply. Most women are more stressed about money than ever before.